All righty. Welcome, everyone. As we welcome in our various recording tools, welcome to the second call of January 2026. Can you believe it? I can't believe it that it's already. Anyway, it's here. We're here, and that's what matters. We'll do our metaphor check-in, and then I have a fun free write and a fun exercise, and we have Nicole's words to look at. And Ezra has a little show and tell. And yeah, and then we'll wrap. So, um, all right, metaphor check-in. A word or a phrase to express how you're feeling about your writing right now. Plus, oh, I didn't have a plus.
Did
I was gonna,
you?
I didn't.
Oh no.
Anyone have a suggestion for a fun question?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you could, um, spend some time at a hotel in on a space station,
Oh.
and it was safe and affordable, would you do it?
Ah, okay. So a yes or no question. Great. So if you could spend some time on a hotel space station that was safe and affordable, would you do it? So Ezra, you want to go first?
Sure. So, I used to say no that about the space station thing. So, I don't know, there was something uncomfortable about it, but now I feel like it's less of a safety prevention thing and more of a bucket list thing. And so I'd say no, it's a yes. I would want to do that. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, that's cool. Cool. And what's your
Okay.
metaphor check-in?
The metaphor check-in. Okay. So you know those television shows where the protagonist is bursts into the room where the treasure is supposed to be and looks at all the walls to find the treasure, looks in the cupboards, where is it? Where is it? And the sidekick is with him and looks in the cupboards, can't find it. Where is it? Where is it? And there's a box in the middle of the room labeled treasure. And the sidekick is wrapping his or her fingers on the box. And that's my metaphor check-in. It's like, how do I get an agent? How do I do this? And then there's this entire website, agents.
There it is. Great, great. Thank you. Who wants to go next? Hugh raises his hand. Okay, go for it.
So um, in last week's episode, I talked about having made it to a dusty cellar and killed all the guards that were manifestations of my fears to find archived books, and my voice locked up in a cage. I have been exploring that dusty cellar and looking at what all the archived books have to offer. I still haven't unlocked the cage yet. It's holding on to my voice. I don't know why, but I'm not sure if I'm waiting for the right moment or maybe I'm afraid of more guards showing up, but I'm getting there. So yeah.
Yeah, be gentle, be really, really gentle. It's almost like
Yeah,
taming a wild horse. You want to be just super
I
gentle.
think so. I think
Yeah.
so. I think I want to wait for the right moment to do it so that I can appreciate it.
Yeah.
Um, Now, if I could spend time on a hotel space station that was safe and affordable, if it was anything like L'Etoile, I would do it in a second. I'm not sure if I would take the space jet up or the
Yeah.
elevator, the space elevator,
Yeah.
because the space elevator might afford me a nice view of things, or I might just be really in a hurry to get up there,
Hmm.
and then I'll take the space elevator back. I don't know, but yeah, I would totally do it, and have fun and play at the casinos and uh, try not to bother Janie while she's on duty.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks.
And by the way, Nicole, I'm talking about Beth's book series about Janie McAllister. I've read all of them, and I can hardly wait until book 5 is out.
I know. I'm trying to wait too because I have the first 4, and I'm willing to get it anyway.
Awesome. Great, Nicole, your turn. What's your metaphor check-in for today?
Um, I guess my metaphor. Well, first of all, Ezra's metaphor did not make any sense,
That's
and and so I guess my metaphor checking is um creative tabs.
creative tabs.
Yep.
Okay, great. And if it was safe and affordable, would you go up to a hotel space station?
No.
Okay. Easy answer. Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you. Excuse me. Um, I guess I will do my metaphor check-in. And yes, I would go to a hotel space station if it was safe and affordable in a heartbeat. And it is on my bucket list, although in realistic terms, I don't think it will happen, but still, I would do it. Um, and my metaphor check-in is mm, I feel like I wanted to say like I was in a car that's stopping and starting and stopping and starting and like bumper to bumper traffic, but I'm going somewhere. But it's really slow and feels like a lot of stops and starts. So that's how it feels. What with working on a set on Sunday and learning a ton from that, and that was kind of all consuming and getting some back to the drawing board feedback on my chapters, which is good. It's good stuff. I have to consider deeply some core questions of book 5 that y'all are waiting for. And then looking at my script outline going, I still don't know what I'm doing here. And when I handed it off to my critique partners. So things are moving, but it feels really slow. And that's okay because we're going in the right direction. Yes. Cool. All right. I have a fun free write, and I know as you're en route, but this is actually a very simple, and I did not put it in digital. So let me tell you what the free write is. Then you'll have 5 minutes to do it, and we're going to use what you create, or you have an opportunity to use what you create in the exercise we'll do after. So in 5 minutes, my suggestion is write 2 to 5 simple sentences. And by simple, I mean grammatically simple. So just subject, ideally your POV character, plus a specific and powerful verb, so verb, plus the object of the action, no more than 2 to 3 words. And so an example would be Johnny jumped onto the train. Right, very simple. But think of your point of view character, something they're doing, and the object of their action. So we have Johnny jumped, we have our subject, we have our action jumped, or how about leapt? Johnny leapt, right? Even more vibrant. Johnny leapt onto the moving train. Okay, now I'm starting to get more complicated, but we keep it simple. Johnny leapt onto the train. So we want our verb to be um, specific and powerful, and our object to be no more than 2 to 3 words. Keep your sentences short. Johnny leapt onto the train. What is that? 5, 6 words. You know, no more than, whoops. Make your sentences no more than, I don't know, 5 to 6 words if you can. And the goal is just to have a handful. Your goal is to write 2 to 5 or more sentences in the time allotted that you're going to pick one later and to play with. And because later we're going to play with complex sentences. So here you're just keeping it really simple.
Okay, so clarification question.
Yeah.
So all of these sentences are kind of like protagonist does the an action,
Yeah.
as opposed to the hills were covered with greenery.
Right. This is not a setting description. This is protagonists doing an action in a location. You can include the location in your dude, I'm here. Yeah.
Got it.
Cool. Great. Good question. Thanks for that. Boom. I put it in the chat for those of you who can read the chat. Any questions on this exercise? I think we can do it in 5 minutes. And for you, Nicole, just play with writing short, powerful sentences. Just keep it in your protagonist. What we're also aiming for is your protagonist perspective, but really it's what they're doing that we care about the most. All right, Rocket has arrived. So now we can write. All right, see y'all in 5 minutes. Okie dokie. Fanoki, that was 5 minutes. If you, I want to check in with you, Nicole, first. What did you do? Did you try the exercise? Did you do something else?
I did try it. I decided to use the antagonist for one of
Ooh,
them.
okay, that's great. Oh, I'm so glad. Excellent. Hugh, did you want to put yours in the chat? You can if you want.
I did.
Oh, good. I didn't see them. Awesome. Ezra must be en route, so
His
I'm
are also.
yeah, his are there too. Cool. I'll read them. Let me open up the chat so I can read this better. Alice dashed through the portal. Alice wove between the trees. Alice hid behind a boulder. Alice raced back to the portal. And then yours, Hugh wrote, Tobai hurled the magic globe. Arbala stabbed the creature. Tobai burned the monster. Rofen ripped the scroll. Tobai enchanted Arbala's arrows. Ooh. And here's mine. Janie bounded up the stairs. Janie floated across the playing field. Janie ran up the ramp. Janie hustled down the corridor. Janie embarked into the shuttle. Janie piloted the shuttle into the hangar. Excellent. All right, now let's play. Okay, so now um, I have a handout, and I have two things. I have the handout that I made, and where's my documents? And then I have, oh, something happened. Oh yeah, I rebooted my computer. Okay, let me find the handouts. Ah, here it is. Not that hard to find. All right, I am going to open up my screen and go through this, and then I'm going to share in a moment a little bit. I'm going to share with you a handout for you to work on. Okay, so today we're going to talk about complex sentences, and if folks are into it, we can do it next time as well. I have some examples from published fiction, why use complex sentences, tips to construct your own, well, where we will do some work, and then our takeaways and next steps and things you want to put into your writer toolkit. And I made an image with a little boy reading a comic book, enthralled, because that's what we want to do for our readers. All right, so what are complex sentences? I realized I didn't put a grammar definition. One way of saying them is that they're long sentences that have lots of phrases and clauses and things that modify other things. And I thought instead of going into the grammar, I would just show you several openings of novels. And some of the sentences are short and simple, and some are long. But it's fun to see how writers move these all together. And are you in transit still? Are you able to read Read the screen?
I'm happy to read if he's
Oh,
not available.
Hugh, that would be great. Yeah, please read.
Get a chance to try my theater voice.
Yes, and let's just we'll do one at a time. We'll pause after each example and I can talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you.
There are two kinds of magic. There is the kind that lifts you up and fills you with wonder, saving you when all is lost, or opening doors to new worlds of possibility. And there is the kind that wrecks you, that shatters you, bitter in your mouth and jagged in your hand, breaking everything you touch. Mine was the second kind.
Thank you. This is from the Obsidian Tower, the first book in the Rooks and Ruins series by Melissa Caruso. This is the very beginning of the book. I've analyzed it. It's out on my podcast this week. I analyzed this opening and a few more sentences. But I love how she mixes up short sentences, or we could call them simple sentences, with long sentences, especially this very poetic sentence where she uses words like bitter in your mouth, jagged in your hand. It's so wonderful. Great. Let's read the second example.
So I had to unmute. Okay. Example 2. Max was running. The day was hot and bright because days were always hot and bright on this crappy planet at the arse end of the universe. cheaply terraformed, barely able to support the drag ends of life, farted at by the sun on a regular basis. Nobody lived there if they didn't have to.
Great. Thank you so much. Again, this is the very beginning of Max 17, book one in her sci-fi action romance series by Kate Johnson. And I would say it's not super complex what she's doing, but she's using like half sentences and she's spending most of this time telling us about the location. But we learn a lot, which I love. And we learn she's British, with their expression of the arse end of the universe. And last but not least, um, here's one more.
Hey, people place much emphasis on how chefs are profoundly blessed by the five gods. But truly, anyone who can taste food, who can be strengthened by the harvest offered by our wonderful world, who can enjoy the company of loved ones during a shared repast, is likewise blessed. Oh my God, that's so good.
Isn't that beautiful? And this is the epigraph. So this little bit at the top of chapter one. And this is book two in the Chefs of the Five Gods series, which is only a duology, unfortunately. A Feast for Starving Stone. And the author is Beth
I
Cato.
read these books.
Yes, 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 yes. And I've read Max 17 multiple times. And I've reread the beginning of Melissa Caruso's book multiple times since I critiqued it and, pulled it apart for the podcast. I just love this series. It definitely bears rereading. Great. So why use complex sentences? Here's some of my thoughts, and then I'd love to hear your thoughts. So it enriches your writing. You're enthralling, enchanting your reader. You're basically hypnotizing readers with our language, and complex sentences help us do that. We get to use words because we love words. It's been kind of silly there. But what else? Why do you think using complex sentences is a good idea in your writing? If you do. Anybody have thoughts? Nicole, thoughts?
Um, it draws the reader in.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Hugh, Hugh, do you have ideas?
I that first sentence by the example one,
Hmm.
Obsidian Tower, it was just so rich that yeah, I felt like I was being drawn into something for
Hmm.
sure, like what Nicole said. But I felt like, including with some of the others, I felt like I was being led by the hand down a path.
Hmm.
I'm having trouble articulating what I'm feeling, but I was captured.
Yeah,
I guess that's why they call it a hook.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Very much so. And this is so interesting. That I learned with my NLP training is we actually consciously and unconsciously use language to hypnotize people and for good or ill, right? We're in here, we're using it for fiction. It can be used in a lot of different ways for a lot of different things. So complex sentences allow us, I guess this is something I would add, is to create rich rhythms and kind of to engineer, I don't know how to spell rhythms right now. I did it right. To create rich rhythms and engineer the lyricism of language. Engineer needs spelling better. Okay, there we go. Excellent. And Ezra's coming. I forgot to grab you a chair, Ez. So involved in eating my popcorn for class. Um, cool. We're talking about why use complex sentences. And Rock knows. Yeah, you know. Okay. Great. You're just in time for the exercise. Excellent. So here we go. I have a link. I created a handout where we're going to build, you're going to build a complex sentence. I'm going to put this in the chat. This is a copy And for you, Nicole, I will do a thing. I will download it and send it to you. Um, so I'm opening that on my screen and just download an RTF. There we go, RTF. Excellent. So you each can make your own copy. It doesn't affect me. Mine, and while you open that up, I'm going to send this to Nicole. Alrighty. Judy, you probably want this.
Yeah.
Okay. Our rocket, you can sit on our laps. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So we did number one already. Craft a simple sentence about your main character. This will serve as your base sentence. Name plus verb plus object of the action. And here's mine that I invented for purpose of this exercise, but it is based on something I wrote, which you'll see in a sec.
Recording in progress.
Thank you. Janie McAllister scanned the crowd. Simple enough. And this is from this sentence. So you'll see me kind of riffing off of this. This is the first sentence in my book, book one of Into the Black. From her elevated vantage point on the stairs, Janie McAllister, lead investigator of L'Etoile's security team, scanned the crowd of gamblers for the elusive pickpocket, the thief who'd been striking every night for the last few weeks. So, yeah, so that's what I did there. All right, so I'm going to give you an example and then I'm going to give you guys 5 or so minutes to play with this on your own. So we have our first sentence, step one. Step two, add a modifying clause about the subject of the sentence. And here's my actual clause from her elevated vantage point on the stairs. So this modifies really where Janie is. Then go ahead and add another modifying clause about the subject of the sentence, anything else. And in this case, I chose to say something about her job because it was the beginning of the book. I wanted to be very in people's face about it. Lead investigator of L'Etoile's security team. Then here's where I start inventing things that I don't have in the. Then they, one suggestion, you don't have to do this, but if you want, you can add an adverb to modify the verb. So I added intently scanned, which is not part of my writing style to add a lot of adjectives, but if you want to, you can. I was thinking of Diana likes to add adjectives to her work.
Adjectives or adverbs?
Sorry, adverbs, thank you. Add something about the weather. Again, this is optional, you don't have to, and I didn't in mine, but I thought, oh, how about I could have added in the chilly casino. Say what the subject is, what it's doing to the subject, meaning I thought what the weather is doing. So I thought, oh, I could describe it, a cool breeze smelling of lilacs. Add another clause about the weather as a simile or metaphor. So I played with this as if it were hustling gamblers to bet more and more. I thought, if I really wanted to maybe deeper in the story, I could write a sentence like that. That included this idea. Add a modifying clause about what happens to the subject of the sentence because of the weather. So we want cause and effect. So I could have said, instead of Janie scanned the casino, I could say she shivered and scanned, if I was including the weather in the sentence. Add a modifying clause about the subject or object. And in this case, I described the object. So she was scanning for the elusive pickpocket, the thief who had been striking every night for the last few weeks. So there's 9 steps in total, including this first step of creating your simple sentence. So really 8 steps. So now it's your turn. I've just added a whole bunch of space, choose one of the short sentences that you did in the initial exercise and just go ahead and, oh, I have it here twice. Okay. I was repetitive, but and then just start playing with these modifications. And you don't have to follow this exactly. It doesn't have to be about the weather. It could be about the setting if you want. And that's it. And then I put resources down at the bottom. And this was inspired by this video that I showed to you, everyone, like 2 years ago when we talked about this. And then the big inspiration for this exercise is Building Great Sentences by Brooks Landon. And there's a course book online, there's an Amazon link and another Amazon link. I know. Anyway, all right, let's do, what do you think, as 5 minutes for this?
Yeah, let's try 5 minutes.
Okay, if y'all need more time, just let me know. I'm going to stop share so I can just shut everything off. I mean, stop my camera. I'll see you all in 5 minutes unless any questions. No, everyone's jamming. Righty. We got some sentences. Um, Ez, you want to read Hugh's sentence and
Yeah,
your sentence, and then we'll
I
check in with
guess.
Nicole.
Um, yeah, so I have where it says final sentence, colon, right? Um,
Yep.
Yep.
awesome. From atop the white wall, Tobias spun and violently hurled the magic globe that he had spent hours enchanting across the Dryas ash field, where it
Dry dash.
Oh,
a dry ash,
dry as ash.
dry as ash, got it, field, where it hit the monster and burst into flames. Ooh.
Ooh, I love it. I'm so there.
I forgot my adverb.
It's all right. No adverb necessary if you don't want to
Yeah.
have one. Oh,
N-A-N. No adverb necessary. Okay.
NaN, no
Wiping the sweat from her brow, knowing that the dean of academics would soon chop his way through the closet door to kill her, Alice dashed through the portal from the cold, damp janitorial closet into the bright, hot, desolate island of sweet grassy hills and thick trees swaying in the breeze.
Ooh, really nice with all those descriptions. And so Nicole, checking in with you. Um, did you try this exercise?
Yeah.
Great. How was it?
Okay.
Okay, great. Well, you're welcome to send it to me by email if that's easier to, so I could read it. As you want to scooch over to me so I can get you in the frame here?
Okay.
Yeah, send it over. Great. So that's really all I had for today with complex sentences. I pulled this exercise actually out of something we did 2 years ago. I'm like, let's just do this again to like refresh. And then I thought next time, if people want, we can do more um, complex sentences and more playing. Um, so yeah.
What makes sense to me is like with regards to the adverb, it's if originally my simple sentence was um Alice went through the portal
Mhm.
and then went quickly through the portal. So that's putting the adverb in.
You don't have to
And
put
then
it
once you
in.
have the adverb in, went quickly,
Hmm.
you smush it into a powerful verb. That makes, I
Yeah.
can see the purpose of having an adverb there to figure out what would be a powerful verb that can combine the verb and adverb into,
Mhm.
like hastened or dashed or whatever.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. Um, cool. So just I do have resources on the handout. Oh, they're on the document that we were just playing on, but I was just curious if there's any takeaways from just the short exercise today on reconnecting with complex sentences, anything you want to be doing, any kind of thing you want to remember that you want to put into your writer toolkit, any next steps for yourself as writers.
I plan to address my students continually using adverbs endlessly.
And driving them crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Something that I'm reminded of, especially reading those openings from the books, is complex sentences are just one kind of sentence, and varying from the short sentences and the simple sentences to the complex is also part of the dynamic nature of what made those openings work. So, as much as I love complex sentences, I also want to keep in mind for myself just variety and really paying attention to the rhythm of the language. So yeah, that's my takeaway. How about you, Hugh? Do you have any kind of takeaway want to revisit as we revisit complex sentences?
I like this process of starting off simply and
Hmm.
then building it up into something rather than trying to craft it all at once. And it's inspiring me to go back and work on that frustrating first page of my novel
Yeah. And just as a suggestion just occurred to me is to just play with the sentences, like not try to make the story correct or anything, but just have fun. Use it as a playing ground, a testing ground, and just see. Because sometimes what I notice when I rewrite sentences, new ideas pop in my mind about the story, and it could be a fun little playground for you for sentences.
I
Yeah.
like that idea. Just experiment and
Yeah.
have fun with it.
Yeah, that sounds great. Any takeaways for you, Nicole, from this experience?
Um, not really.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, I guess, yeah, not really. I guess because I read so much stuff, different things, and so I kind of know, about like simple and complex sentences. Because I think all the books I read pretty much start with complex sentences anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Good. And we're going to look at your work in a second. Um,
Okay.
good. But before we do, I want to just let Ezra know there's a little package sitting on the couch that I think is your books. It's
Ooh,
little like this.
nice.
If you want to go grab them, because do a show and tell. We're we have proof copies of Ezra's thesauri that he's made under the Liz Adams brand for people who write sexy stuff and historical stuff. And anyway, I want him to show them off, and then we'll dive into your edits, Nicole.
Okay.
And um, yeah, is everyone okay with doing complex? No? Oh, why did I think they were here? Okay.
While Israel slept.
Oh, it's the book. Okay, a different book. That's just this tiny box. Shall we do complex sentences next time to kind of keep it top of mind or
Yeah,
something?
I'd like to do it again next time for sure.
Okay, cool.
Let's keep it fresh,
Yeah,
because I think this is important.
yeah. By fresh, you mean like top of mind, that kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
like maybe do a 5 or 10 minute exercise next time
hmm
based on what we did today, just to get
hmm
the juices flowing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Instead of I'm part of me wants to revisit building great sentences because I've actually never read the entire book and I'm like, okay, what else is in there besides what we just
Oh,
did?
like the next stage of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that I'm totally down for. Yeah. If you're talking
okay.
about adding more on,
Adding
yeah,
more. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
+1 from me.
Okay,
Mhm.
awesome. Cool. All right. So no show and tell today.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, next time then. All right, let's dive into Nicole's words. And Nicole, you sent us 426 words, but it's 2 pages single space, so we'll see how much we get through. We have some extra
Okay.
time today.
I couldn't take it down any lower because the
Okay.
time was away, and I was like, if I take it down too low, then part of it will be taken out, and it was so good that
Good, good. All right. So a little bit of setup. Says prelude. Is this like a prequel or a prologue? What is this?
I guess a prologue, I don't know what it was called.
All
It's
right.
a prelude. I don't.
What's a prelude? Anyone want to look it up for us? Um,
I mean, I know that in music,
yeah, what's a
it's
prelude in music?
it's almost like a warm up.
Mm.
Um,
So it is kind of like a prologue or a prequel or the story that's before the story.
Kind of, except the character that's one of the characters that in it won't be in the story anymore. So
hmm Okay, so it's a little piece of backstory that is going to kind of set up your story. Oh, as Hugh has a quote. A prelude is an introductory piece, action, or event that sets the stage for something more significant.
right. Okay.
Does that describe it, Nicole, for you?
yeah, so it's kind of like. So I have this queen that's going to get killed off at the end of the prelude, and then and so in the in the main episode, I think I have another queen that's supposed to get killed off in the episode.
Okay. Okay. So it's all right. Well, let's read it and
Great.
what kind of feedback would you like from us? Oops.
I guess anything works. I guess I don't know.
Okay. I'm sure Ezra will. Lots of great questions.
Mhm.
All right. Go. All right. Here we go.
Prelude, a chain unbound. Planet, Evafin. Season, mid-spring. Time period, Q1 of Queen Ismera Bloodvine's reign. Queen Ismera Bloodvine sat in the circular speaking chamber, its walls grown from living stonewood, etched with tactile glyphs that hummed faintly beneath her fingertips. Above, light from the twin suns, glow flame and heat lave,
Sorry.
filtered through layered crystal leaves, warming the chamber without scorching it. Queen Ismera took a long sip from the tin cup of Kafinbury oat brew. It was rich and dark, crowned with a pale foam that smelled faintly of cinnamon berry and frost milk. Too sweet? Kalen asked. He stood at the edge of the chamber, posture impeccable, feet wrapped in translucent gel bindings that caught the light like water held still. No, Ismera said, setting the cup down. Balanced. She reached for the key apple pie, still warm. The crust flaked softly beneath her fingers, releasing a scent that reminded her of harvest halls and late night debates, home food, encouragement food. She took a bite, juice bright against the spice of the filling. Kalen stepped forward, placing a small plate of pine orange bread beside her. Soft, brushed with cream, barely glistening, the cream caught the twin sunlight and looked almost luminous. You've outdone yourself today, she said. For your first address as queen, Kalen answered. It should be complete. She tore a small piece of the bread and ate it while standing, as she practiced her opening lines. The law has long named bodies before it named souls. The words came easily. They always did when she was alone. She felt warm, calm, the kind of calm that followed certainty. She lifted the cup again. That was when the room shifted, not sharply, not violently, just wrong. The glyphs beneath her feet seemed to blur, their hum slipping half a tone off. Her next sentence arrived a heartbeat late, as if her thoughts were wading through water. Kalen, she said slowly, setting the cup down. Something's... Her hand trembled. Kalen did not move. Ismera got to her feet and took a step, and her knee buckled, not enough to fall, just enough to alarm her. Her chest tightened, not with pain, but with misalignment, like her breath and heart were no longer agreeing on a rhythm. Kalen, she said again, sharper now, fetch a healer. He met her eyes, but did not bow. In that instant, it all made sense. The cream, the bread, the foam on the drink. You knew, she said. You prepared it. Kaelin's betrayal struck harder than the poison. The glyph bells rang late.
Ooh,
Nice.
very, very intense. Thanks, Iz. So, Ez, did you have feedback first since you read it?
Yeah, well, I love I love uh the storyline of the betrayal. And I mean, so overall, I loved it. If there are details I could pick out that I would enjoy, it's the description of the food, I would say. That really stood out to me as unique and lovely to read. Um, and then a few minor things. If you scroll up, let's start at the top.
Add her, trying to add a little grammar edit,
Yeah.
punctuation notes.
So, okay, so this was one of the two things. It stood at the edge of the chamber, and it's a circular chamber. So where's the edge? I mean, and that was one thing that came up.
So it's basically, how can there be an edge?
Yeah, in a circular chamber. Um,
If I could just jump in on that one.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I didn't necessarily have a problem with that because the chamber is it's a circle, but I mean you're pressing yourself up against it. I mean it's a there's a border to me
Ah,
that feels like an edge to it.
yeah,
So somebody's at the edge of a circular room, they're standing up against the wall. That's
right,
how I feel it.
right. So I was reading it as corner, not edge. He
Right.
stood at the corner of the chamber, but it
Yeah.
doesn't say
If it was
corner, it
a
says edge.
corner of the circle, I would be like, what? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Okay. All right, and then the other place is lower. Um, well, this could actually work but yeah, I think I misread this other one as well. So it says the cream caught the twin sunlight and looked almost luminous. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so when I think of luminous, I think of like emitting light. Um, And if it's reflecting light, to me, that's emitting light in a way. So to me, it is luminous. But luminous here could mean, if I read it a second time,
Mm-hmm.
that it almost looked like it is a source of light when it isn't, it's reflecting light.
Yeah, that's how I took it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Great. How about you, Hugh? Comments?
Well, I've seen a lot of Nicole's writing before. I've seen a lot of her bits of stuff about shifters. I remember the mosquito people, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And I remember I enjoyed there was a sharpness to a lot of that writing, which I liked, given the tone of the story. This was different.
Mm-hmm.
There was a warmth to this that I like. I mean, even though this text was it's dark and sinister, there was a warmth to it. There was a coziness the uh, about the location. And I know in your teaching, Beth, and many others, like when you're writing a story, you leave out a lot of mundane stuff. She got up, she stepped over there, she turned all these little mundane details, as opposed to just saying she was across the room. But here, where she picked something up, she ate it,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of these details of her like just about to consume this poison felt very Hitchcockian, because Alfred Hitchcock was very good at slowing down the pace and giving you all of these almost aggravating details that built the tension. So that's those details did for me. And I'm always going to ask for more. Just what can I smell it? Right? Can I what does it feel like? What does it smell like? Uh, um, yeah, and more about the sunlight. The twin suns, the light's coming in and it's reflected on the cream, but is there dust in the air that's illuminating these beams? Is there Yeah, I want more of those details. I feel like this is a musty room,
Mm.
you know, it's stuff like that. But overall, I really was thoroughly engaged in that. And so, Nicole, hurry up and finish the book so I can read it. Thank you.
Great. Is this helpful, Nicole?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I mean, ChatGPT came up with those details, and when I had it give me to download the file, I was like, okay, what am I supposed to take out of here? This is
Right.
too good.
Yeah, yeah. I think something that I would love from a story perspective at the end. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to look up the word Hitchcockian, but someone else will have to look that up for me. But I just wanted to know the end. And I was a little, this sentence here at the very end, the glyph bells rang late. I wasn't really sure what that meant. And maybe you want to add a little bit more about the bells, um, so we know what the significant is. Like maybe earlier in the story, we can hear the bells. So I want to know, okay, what does this mean? Add some bells earlier, maybe. And what do the bells sound like? Um, because it felt kind of ominous, but it was almost it was like a motif that you added only once and needed some repeating. Like I love the repetition of the cream, the bread, the foam on the drink at the very end. That's lovely. And I agree with Hugh. Like you're focusing on these beautiful details and we're all like, oh no, what's going to happen? So I would love a little bit more wrap up at the end in terms of like the meaning of those bells, because I think you're using them like symbols of something, but I'm not 100% sure what. And thank you for
Yeah,
the
it's
description of Hitchcock.
I
CHC.
I just wanted to add one more thing in.
Yeah.
When that part you were talking about the cream, what was it? The cream, the bread,
Uh-huh.
the foam on the drink. That created a rhythm for me that I liked, that sort of pulled me along with that one sentence. Queen Lumeria took a long sip from a tin cup. I mean, that has such rhythm to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought, yeah, this writing is very rhythmic. I know you use ChatGPT, but it feels like you are the one deciding what is being done here. Just so you know, we can't use technically for copyright reasons, you don't want to use the words in ChatGPT because then our work is not copyright. We don't own the copyright. They're borrowing language from elsewhere. And so if we use that language, then we can't actually technically, I know people are doing it, but we can't copyright our own work. Um, from a AI, the whole dispute with using. Anyway, I interviewed someone on this for my podcast recently. Um, can someone read the definition of Hitchcockian? Hugh, do you want to read it?
Yeah. Hitchcockian describes films or situations reminiscent of director Alfred Hitchcock, characterized by psychological suspense, ordinary people in extraordinary danger, unreliable characters, mistaken identities, plot twists, voyeurism, and this is the part, and a focus on building tension through suspense rather than explicit horror.
Yes. I just heard a retrospective on French radio today about Twin Twin Peaks guy. Um, sorry,
David Lynch.
David Lynch, who died, I guess, last year,
Yeah.
in a year. It was a beautiful, wonderful panel discussion about David Lynch, and his main influence was Hitchcock,
Okay.
and just how wonderful and weird he was. And They also mentioned the director who did Young Frankenstein. And they're like, nobody remembers it. I'm like, what are you talking about? Young, oh, in that movie, everyone has forgotten about Young Frankenstein. I'm like, that was one of the best movies ever.
It was Mel
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 Brooks.
Brooks
Mel Brooks.
produced it.
Yeah, Mel
And
Brooks.
and what's his name who played in it also wrote the screenplay.
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
Yeah. Anyway,
And
you and I, we know who Mel
think
Brooks
he
is.
might
Anyway,
have.
that's a sidebar, but
I don't know if he
M. Night Shyamalan also was influenced by Hitchcock, and if you look at his movie Signs, there was this
Oh my gosh!
that was
yeah.
I
so
I
there was this
know Signs. I remember Signs with Morgan Freeman.
yeah. Signs was with it was I think it was Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman was
Yeah.
in it too, though. But Mel
Yeah.
Gibson was too. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So Morgan,
Okay.
there was this one scene where they're in the basement and the door to the basement was open and you heard noise upstairs and the camera turns to the open door at the top of the basement steps and there was light there and dust and things and the camera was very, very slowly moving towards it and it was agonizing, but it was a very Alfred Hitchcock moment, like what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So he was influenced a lot in his movies.
Wow.
I think there was a quote from Hitchcock saying suspense is when I'm gonna mess up this quote. It's like there's it I'm ruining it.
That's
It
good.
takes a long time for nothing to happen.
A long time for nothing to happen.
Yeah. It's like someone's in
I dropped the quote in.
Okay.
Oh, great. There's no wait.
Read aloud.
There's no terror in the baying, only in the anticipation of it.
That's another good Hitchcock quote.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nicole, all this to say, like your ability to create suspense in that prelude was very well done. And
Okay.
and I would say go ahead and make it longer. I mean, it's short maybe because for the submission, but go ahead and go ahead for your readers and make it longer.
Yeah.
Can you read what you wrote there, Hugh?
Yeah, he famously illustrated this with his bomb under the table analogy, explaining that the audience's knowledge of an impending threat creates far greater tension and participation than a sudden shock or surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that when it used a lot in mysteries and mystery TV shows and stuff, where the audience gets privy to something bad about to happen, but our protagonists in the story don't know.
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh no, no. And it's not overt, like, don't go down into that dark basement alone. It's more like the nefarious agenda of the villain. And yeah, or in your case, Nicole, in this piece, it was very much like things seem to be going great, but there's a reason why we are reading this. So therefore, something is about to happen, you know. And you told us, you kind of gave it away with the death of the queen, but so so there's that. Um, great. I can't remember off the top of my head who is the next writer. I think it's one of the Dianas. I remember thinking, oh, I put the two Dianas in a row. So I'm pretty sure about that. Wow, we still have some time. Um, anybody have any other show and tell or takeaways? Or anything? My
I
brain.
just I just want to play with sentences now.
Okay, good. Yes. Yay. So fun. Um,
I was just thinking like when looking um
what are
at
we
her
looking at?
story
Oh, you want to look at her story? Okay, let me call it up.
back when because I like what he was saying about the long sip.
Mm-hmm.
Um if it could be written in a way so that it is literally long to read, so a long savory sip.
Mm-hmm.
Um
So
and
instead of took a long sip, maybe a long savory sip.
yeah.
Well, it would be but it's caffeine berry, and caffeine berry tastes sweet. So
or
you
or
know,
a, or a long sweet sip. But
Oh, yeah.
the point being that there's more words there to get to sip, so that it's the reading experience feels longer, so that
oh,
the sip feels longer. I mean, that's just playing around, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have time. Do we want to do another sentence exercise? Do you all want to take another short sentence? We'll do
I
another 5 minute. Ezra's into it.
bet.
You,
I'm into it.
you're into it. Nicole, you into it?
sure, why not?
Why not? All right, I'm setting the timer for 5 minutes. Choose another your short, simple short sentence, and I'll see y'all in 5 minutes. Righty. As you want to read the stuff?
Great. So I did use this time the adverb, and
Okay.
then it was quickly hid, and then
Uh-huh.
I replaced it with pounced.
Do you want to tell us your base sentence?
No, two.
Pizza.
No, it wasn't a pizza. I thought it was a
Okay.
pizza, but it was a
It
horn.
was a little too more.
Dude.
Uh,
Quickly tell them what?
uh, the short sentence.
Oh, the short sentence. Yeah. Alice hid behind a boulder. Alice hid behind a boulder.
Okay, cool.
When the university's dean followed Alice from the janitor's closet into the spacious island while clutching his axe, Alice's chest thumped and she quickly hid behind or she pounced behind a boulder, unable to silence her breathing and the pounding of the blood at her ears.
It's funny, I need to read it. Um,
Oh, and
cool. Very
Hugh's
cool.
short sentence was Arbala stabbed the creature.
Okay.
Arbala, bloody and bruised, found her balance in the gusty wind and stabbed the creature repeatedly, screaming with each thrust, chunks of its black flesh flying, the rain nearly blinding her. That's great.
Wow, what an active, so much is going on in there. That's what's so amazing, I guess, also about these complex sentences that we're building is like so much is happening. So much can be happening. I love that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And did you play with it, Nicole?
Not really.
No?
No.
Okay, no worries. Oh, Ezra did quickly pounced, quickly hid, became pounced.
Right. That
Mm,
was so me using the adverb
I see. And then you,
because hid was not strong enough, so I changed it to and she pounced behind a boulder.
so fun. I wanted to like edit yours as in put a period after thumped. Alice's chest thumped, period. She quickly hid behind a a boulder, blah, blah, blah. Because you've
Yeah.
got two big actions happening. Um, I love that he's following her with an axe. That's very scary. Really well done, you guys. Cool. Some why don't we transition to like next steps and announcements and end a little early today. I'm dealing with insomnia this week, man. 2 nights in a row. Not 2 nights in a row. Two, but multiple times.
2 nights in one night.
2 nights in one night, exactly. So it's making me feel very loopy. Um, yeah, next steps, guys.
Um, so I'm actually diving into looking at agents, which agents to uh query for my nonfiction book. I would never do this for my fiction.
Is
Um,
it query or query?
it's quarry.
It's query.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's because it's about the river of my guts being tossed at
What?
tossed at these people saying, experience my vulnerability. No,
Okay.
I don't know. Uh,
Okay.
query?
Query.
Query?
Query.
Yeah.
How do you say it, Hugh?
Potato, potato.
Yeah, okay. It's one of those.
But
Great.
anyway, so yeah,
That's great.
and so I'm gonna be using a couple of things to get those done. Um,
Great.
and yeah, so those are my next steps.
Great. Next steps for you, Hugh?
I might carve out a little time to work on sentences for my first page.
Oh,
Just
good.
just to play with it,
Yeah.
because I'm avoiding it.
Oh, yeah.
There.
Something that,
I'm just not I'm
yeah,
I'm I'm not exhibiting courage right now with that first page.
something to consider is to work on it backwards. I've done this when I'm just wanting to focus on language and not so much story.
Yeah.
Take the last sentence and play with that, and then take the previous sentence if you want.
Oh, the last sentence of the first page.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, I like that.
So it's not so much about story for you, it's playing with language and just, so that's why sometimes when I'm dealing with even with edits from critique partners and stuff, I'll just start backwards because I really want to just play with the sentences. And of course I go again through it forwards, but it's a way to be less attached. Yeah. Cool.
Excuse me.
Yeah, no problem. Um, great.
I like that idea. I wrote that down.
Oh,
I
good.
have a little brainstorming doc that I've been filling out with all these little micro ideas. I'm going to throw them into Scrivener.
Oh, good. And I think once my brain has had a bit of a rest, I have some backstory questions that my critique partners pointed out that I'm going to play with some more and revisit the backstory. Despite the word itself, there is no actual hair in the sentence. What?
Straight up.
Random. You're getting Hugh falling over with laughter.
That's right. Your mic kind of weird. Really.
Should we put it on a t-shirt? Have it a mug. So me too, I love it. Love the nonsense of it. Pizza. Oh no, that's not pizza. That's those are other shaped triangles. They are triangles though.
It's noisemakers at a party.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. I wanted to, so just to transition to some announcements, there is next Wednesday, I am hosting a master class by my friend Bailey Lang, Dr. Bailey Lang, talking about habits of mind. I'm dropping in the chat, and it's also in the newsletter I sent out today, 100% off coupon if anyone wants to attend live. It's
Ooh.
11 a.m. Well, this is zone Pacific and 1, 2,
Two in New York.
2 in God, I am tired. So if you want to join us or just make sure you get the replay, do please register. It's my gift to all of you who are in the mastermind, our mastermind. And then another announcement is our next calls. Our February calls will be February 5th and 19th. So back to our first and third Thursday of the month. And then for folks interested, like I know, Nicole, you were interested, we're running a boot camp for creative entrepreneurs called Find Your Creative Idea. And that registration hopefully will be opening February 1st. And I have comp tickets for anyone who wants them. And I know, Nicole, you're asking me about that. And of course, Hugh, you're totally welcome as well. Anyone who's here in our mastermind is welcome. It's a $67 ticket that I'm happy to comp you all with. And Bailey's is a $97 ticket. And will probably be a small class, intimate class at this point. Some other announcements is my business is shifting, as you probably all have noticed. I'm moving more into filmmaking, hoping, the big project is putting Henrietta on the big screen, the small screen, that kind of thing. But in the interim, I'm starting to learn, filmmaking from the back end, and I got to be the first assistant director on a set on Sunday. Did a lot of work for that. Learned a ton. Oh, thanks for signing up, Hugh. And I don't know what's happening. I don't know how that's changing the business. So one way it's changing the business is that I'm going to just really focus strongly on helping you all here in the mastermind and the one-on-one clients I work with, science fiction and fantasy writers. That's not changing. Focus on editing and bringing the books to market, all that. And then focusing on creative entrepreneur stuff, building that with our big boot camp in March with another cohort, ideally in the fall. And then a third fun thing that I'm building with a friend is a fiction book marketing club where you come and learn something every month. And that will be a low-cost club I'm building with a friend, another friend, building stuff with friends. So,
Something I want to add is in the process of learning script writing, um, it's kind of helped me hone in on my fiction writing, regular fiction. Just kind of putting an analysis that I never saw before in regular fiction writing books. Um, and it's if you picture a spectrum, um, on one side of the spectrum, like the far side of the spectrum, there's poetry, iambic pentameter, da 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 da, and it's so fixed, it has to be exactly so. And then there's it's said that people who write poetry are less insane than people who write fiction. And here's why. Maybe. I know you write poetry. So and then when you get to script writing, there is like rules and stuff to follow that's pretty strict. Like by the first to second page, this happened. By the third page, this happens. And so that structure is there. It's, I wouldn't say it's as structured as poetry, but it's there. And then with fiction writing, it's like sometime between the first page and the first 30 or 40 pages, have the call to action. And so it's much more flexible. Um, and and then we get into what's his name? He was Irish um, um, Irish writer.
Which one?
There's a few of them.
No, there's only one. But he wrote a book where the last page ended mid-sentence, and then the first page finished the sentence at the end of the book. So it was a circular book. It never ended.
Finnegan's Wake.
Yes.
James Joyce.
James Joyce,
Yeah.
right. So that's like you get into the crazy realm of
Crazy.
where you get the alcoholics and all the people.
Finnegan's Wake.
Finnegan's Wake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. He says even Shakespeare occasionally violated iambic pentameter. Okay.
Yeah.
But also screenplays that you're
It's
talking
pronounced
about.
iambic pentameter. No, no.
The rigidity you're talking about is like conventional feature-length films. But
Right.
that's just one way to write a script.
Right, exactly.
There's a million and one ways. It's just like fiction writing.
Yeah.
And same with, anyway.
And all are valid,
Yeah.
across the spectrum.
Yeah.
But it's just fun that like I was so involved in this kind of a little somewhat freeform fiction. It was genre fiction. It wasn't literary fiction. Yeah, so there was, I would say, more structure
There's a lot of structure
in genre fiction.
Yeah.
But now just toying with this film um, structure is just kind of opening my eyes to new ideas and stuff, and that would be something I would like to share.
Yes, absolutely. Well,
I like that you're looking at verse. Verse is hard, but it's a type of constrained writing that can help the creative process by expanding your brain to fit into these little boxes. I mean, iambic pentameter and which Shakespeare used a lot, occasionally violated, but he would change to a different verse type called trochaic tetrameter.
Oh,
So like generally it was like da 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 5 IMs
yeah.
in a sentence, and but when he switched over, like it was one play when he was switching over to these witches, by the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. So it's almost like it was an otherworldly thing. These were different creatures; they were speaking differently. So he changed the meter of it.
wow. Yeah. Before we go, I just want to make sure, Nicole, you tell us what your next steps are.
I guess to expand this prelude and work on these other assignments.
Good. Yes, you have a few other assignments. Excellent. I'm really glad. And my fiction, yeah, that's right. I'm going back to the drawing board, and I have critique group next week. So I gave them my script outline. I've become more of an outliner because of script writing, because I am trying to follow conventions, but I'm also trying to do some new things. So I will have that next week. And yeah. Sorry, I was waxing poetic, Hugh says. I love it. I love
It's
it.
much better than waning.
Waiting, yes, wait, yes. And our writer next time is Nicole. I mean, not Nicole, that was this time. Diana. If Diana McDowell, if she comes, or Diana Tussman. I'll check in with the Dianas. And then after that, it's going to be you, Hugh, at the beginning of March. So get ready.
I'm on the hook again. Oh, good.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Would you mind? I keep forgetting. Would you mind sending me an email
Sure.
at the beginning of the week if you could, just so that I pull my stealth
Here.
together?
So you mean in March, it's going to be March 5th. So whatever that Monday is, I'll send a reminder.
Yes, ma'am.
You got some time. Okay, cool. C'est bon, c'est bon, c'est bon.
Ceci.
Right, everyone, have a really wonderful rest of your night. Are we going to have pizza?
Because we're kind of like being secretive about pizza because we had pizza last night.
Yeah.
It's like, do we really
Do
want
we
pizza?
want pizza?
We're gonna talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
Hugh has a vote.
That's so great. And Rocket is lounging here. Okay.
Yeah, you can have pizza 2 days in a row. There's no rule, and if there is, I won't tell.
Okay. That sounds good. That sounds good. Excellent, excellent. All right, everyone. So great to see you all. See you in a few weeks in our group mastermind. All right. Happy writing. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit. Bye.